So as I enter my last year of residency here, I can look back over the previous 3 years and say this program is truly exceptional. We have an emphasis on education here. The faculty like to teach. They'll teach in the operating room, they'll give lectures, we have practice oral board examinations, we have a simulation center that's utilized. And so when you mix those things with being a tertiary care center and a level 1 trauma center, you really see that it's a great place to come to work, to train to become an excellent anesthesiologist.
Really good training, that's something you obviously look for in a residency program. And just the acuity of the patients that we take care of. We have some of the sickest patients in the state, if not possibly the country. And I think every educational opportunity, every case we do provides an opportunity for learning, a moment to do anesthesiology on a different level than you might find in other programs.
We do have objectively some of the sickest patients in the country, and we are a quaternary referral center in a fairly small city, but in an area of the country, in a region that feeds to us from a very broad range. And a lot of times patients that come to us and we're the first doctor that they've seen in their life.
Some was just the patient population here. We have a lot of sick patients here, and I think that it's a really good opportunity for you to be exposed to that within your residency. We get tons of liver transplants and a lot of heart surgeries here, so you're seeing, the sickest of the sick patients. So if you can deal with our patients here, then you'll fully be prepared to be an attending on your own one day.
We have a wide variety of cases: heart transplants, lung transplants, liver transplants, complex heart and lung surgeries, complex pediatric cases, pediatric heart surgeries, and many, many more. You are truly ready for anything at the end of your residency at UK.
It also has one of the most difficult in terms of morbidity and mortality patients in the United States. We range in the top 5 in the country for patients that come in with coexisting disease.
I think the aspects that really separate us from other programs that you may be looking at include things like how supportive the environment is, how much of a family feel the entire department is, as well as things like how awesome our clinical base year is. Throughout the entire year, you spend about half of your time on anesthesia run months, as well as doing a few of the mandatory months off service, where you really get to know your future colleagues, especially the surgical services that you'll be working day in and day out with, and can really form bonds that really help throughout the rest of your residency. As the Associate Program Director over the clinical base year, that's an aspect that's near and dear to my heart that I think really helps separate us from some of the other ways that other programs have set themselves up.
And we have months where we work on the acute pain service, the chronic pain service, and even work in the operating room during our first year. And that always made me feel like I was still a part of the anesthesia department here.
It's really incredible to see too the progress and the growth you have. Just from day-to-day even observations, or from starting the beginning of intern year to the end of intern year, where actually here we do get to do a lot of anesthesiology as a first year, where a lot of programs don't do that.
One of the really cool things about this department is from the very first month of your residency, when you come here, you'll be integrated into the anesthesia department. And that really allows for a good transition into residency, where you get to spend some time with the faculty, the other residents in the department in a low stress type environment. You get used to being in the operating room. And then when you go away for your intern year and you do some off-service stuff, when you come back and end up being in the operating room, you already have gotten your feet wet and you already feel like you're a part of the department. People already know you. And this is one thing that I think is really nice about our specific program, where you really feel like you're part of the anesthesia department from day one.
The rapport that there is with the attendings, they treat you like you are at their level. I mean, they're teaching you, but you feel like your opinion, as long as you justify, your decisions matter, which that to me, went a long way.
The faculty are just exceptional. They're very dedicated to teaching, and you can really see that in the way they talk about subjects or the way they want to do intraoperative teaching. It's just really incredible how much they care for you, not only as you as a resident, but you as a person, and you really get a sense of that family as a department.
I did a surgical residency, but at the same time, I was still a PGY0 in anesthesia. So at the beginning, the first 2 months, you know, it was really like one-on-one with CRNAs, residents, and attendings, and they're, you know, making sure that I was advancing through the basics of anesthesia. So moonlighting, man, to me that was a plus, because I didn't have that. My first 2.5 years of residency, like I said, I was a surgical resident, and moonlighting here, what's appealing to me is this internal moonlighting. So you are working, you're doing shifts that you, for example, ICU, cardiac ICU, you moonlight for them on the weekends, but you've done that rotation already, so you're comfortable with it. So you're not being thrown into a new system, a new EMR, new attendings, like you know the people. So that makes it really appealing. Like PACU and OB, it's appealing because you work with these people, so you don't have to go outside UK to moonlight, and the opportunities, the chiefs make sure that you have at least 1 or 2 moonlighting shifts a month, and it's just great.
Well, I've really enjoyed working with all of my co-residents. They're not only fantastic co-workers, but I've enjoyed hanging out with them outside of the hospital, and they've been great friends.
It's a very well-established work-life balance. I'm sure the residents can manage their training as well as family time.
I remember calling my husband after my interview and telling him that that's exactly where I wanted to go.
And definitely I have to give credit for the way we are taught here, the way we're learned, kind of pushed a little bit, but also really motivated to pick up those things a lot quicker than you might have if you were maybe just not in the OR as much.